attack speed, the weapon infusion is a valid one.
Yeah.
All right, so as we get ready to head into our third and final draft of the series, what picks would you like to see? I honestly don't want to see Old School on the Ringo after that game. I feel like he should just take a chill pill, come back to it next week.
I mean, I wouldn't say that about Old School, because I think he's the kind of guy that can make it work. You know, he's one of the top laners. That is one of the top picks. It's something he's comfortable on. They definitely misplayed, but let's not forget that Hammers had an incredibly strong composition.
Yeah,
Hammers,
fair
I think,
point.
should first pick the Ringo here.
Fair enough. It's not every team I'm going to say that that's okay, but I would say for Hammers,
I mean,
it would be all right.
Especially on B side, because then they get a second pick so they can see the bans and kind of orchestrate things that way.
Yeah, either that or Fortress. I think Ringo or Fortress, you get one of those two, lock it in.
Or, yeah,
Ringo's been the clearest indicator of success for them. I think Fortress is close, but Ringo's huge.
You got to deal with that Black Feather then, team.
They didn't win with Ringo in game 1.
That's, I suppose, a fair point. But I'm talking over the sort of history of them overall, not just the series.
This is the bigger picture, Bacon.
Exactly.
Well, this is a very small picture because it's just one game.
You can't see the pig for the bacon.
Ooh! Fortress, first pick.
Well, they went for
Fortress smells bacon.
That's true. That's true. Pedal ban, I like this.
What is going to actually happen here? I feel like I haven't seen Hammers play the Black Feather. Cloud9 are not going to ban that out.
I'm so sure that they can, though. I feel like T-Tigers would be able to make that.
I feel like Cloud9 bans either Glaive or Ringo here.
Black Feather is like... Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I feel like Black Feather is like one of those heroes that like a mechanically inclined player does very well on.
Yeah.
And starting needs to pick it up.
Starting? Okay.
I feel like if starting's friends, teammates, fans, or coaches watching, you should tell him to start playing this hero and run it all week.
That'd actually be pretty cool. I think he would be good on it. But I feel like having him on something that is safer is sometimes better.
Is it, though?
Yeah. I think so. This is my opinion. Bacon, what do you think?
Fair enough.
Safer? More risky? More engagey?
Risky. Always risky. Go all in.
That's what this Hammers team is. Like,
go deep.
This is a full throttle team, and not
especially when you have a fortress. Like, you don't go backwards with a fortress.
So
That's
what's the plan?
Works.
What's the plan? Cloud9 beat you with the Black Feather. Not a lot has changed here.
You didn't have a fortress then, though.
This is Fortress Ringo. I mean, this is Hammers.
It's true. So maybe they can beat him before that comes online. You
I mean,
could always
what
look
would
to turn
you-
in lifesteal on him.
What would you lock in as last pick for Hammers? Because I think that dictates like if Cloud9's okay with picking the Black Feather. Hammers has so many options, and
But
if they
that can't
respond
dictate
to it,
what if they're okay with picking the Black Feather because they don't know what it's going to be.
Well, yeah, I'm saying though that they might not want to take that risk, right? Because you know that Hammers has two really strong preferential picks.
I don't think it matters. I think if the you can take the Black Feather regardless of what they take as their third pick.
Well, their second one on Cloud9 is going to be the Vox. They could still lock in Black Feather, have it be the jungler.
I think they should.
What other options are there, though? I mean, if they don't go down that route.
You could do an alpha. You could try the jungle jewel. Not many teams have been liking that, but I think it's pretty strong.
Yeah, this is kind of a situation where we've seen Cloud9 like fall into the alpha. And by fall into it, I mean like it just didn't look too good, but it was one of those few picks that was left over.
They got 40 seconds of bonus time left. It's going to be a Saw.
Holy. I was about to say it could be an Ozo game team.
Denied.
Denied.
Hammers, what did they go for? Especially with that Saw coming out. You can't see that one coming.
So you're saying you can't see Saw?
I am.
You guys are so
Kestrel.
funny.
Probably jungle. This isn't Europe. We're expecting Crystal, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Should do well into the Saw.
Oh,
If Saw sees where Kestrel is, the Kestrel will just get murdered, though, because she's just so squishy. And it doesn't matter if you try to active camo back or anything.
The one image I have in my mind is like the most frustrating thing in the world as a Saw, where you start up a roadie run, charge at a Kestrel, and just get blasted in the face from the active camo. and just dead. There's nothing you can do at that point.
I mean, also, if he just drops suppressing fire, he's trying to get it onto Ringlo or whatever. Huge damage output. He's looking for the kill. It's just like, glimmer shot. Everybody starts turning their volume down because the glimmer shots are just breaking their ears.
Do you think it's possible we see weapon at all for the Saw?
I didn't want to say it. Oh, Saw. That's where you went with it.
Yes. Or did you mean Kestrel?
I was thinking, like, legit, it could be a double weapon there.
On which side? No.
For the Kestrel.
For the Kestrel, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think we would see it out of the Saw. I would be surprised.
That could be why it's good.
I would be surprised with it on both sides. I'm just saying it's like a variable that we take into account.
Why could it maybe work for Kestrel?
I think the Kestrel, with hammers, they're looking to just run at you. The Fortress enables that. You could pick up a Bone Saw on one of these carriers here, and this goes back to like that old double weapon run at you type of composition. Like, it would be very hard for a Saw or a Vox to live through that much damage.
All right, final predictions.
Hammers.
Hammers.
All right, let's head on to the Halcyon Fold one more time. We've got another great game coming up for you in this series between Hammers and Cloud9. Let's pass it on over to Jaws and Jingyi.
And it will be the last game as well. Cloud9 and Hammers, they've had a very, very good streak up to this final match. And, oh boy, it couldn't be any more scripted. We have I Love Joseph on that Saw. However, he's taking a lot of damage in the early stages. Hammers already just kind of going on the aggression, but Cloud9 trading up very effectively. Starting all overs on the sidelines. They did not spot him one bit. That's going to be first blood. It actually goes over to Old School. And Hammers still chasing. I Love Joseph very low. Oh no, twirling silver, starting all over. Can he find the shots? 1, 2, 3. He gets him. Gabe Vizzle is going to have to run away as Hammers take the first 2 kills.
Get the first 2 kills, but Cloud9 also get a kill there from that. And T-Tiger's really punished the immobility of that Saw there. It looks like I Love Joseph might be going weapon, double weapon blade being picked up at the start there. I'm not sure if that's the best decision to make, especially with a Fortress on a Crystal Kestrel on your opposing team. Just if you're spun up, very slow, it's so easy for Chicken to dive onto you, and you've also got the Glimmer Shots coming out from T-Tigers. It makes it very difficult. That's a lot of damage that can be thrown down onto you. Yes, Gabe Vizzle, they're on that Lyra, can throw down the Bright Ball or can prevent this from happening. But I think you just want that extra mobility there on I Love Joseph. So I would prefer to see that Crystal Saw coming out.
Well, do you think maybe he could go that just using this early weapon power just for the clear? Is that something that he could possibly do?
I think that's definitely early game Saw. Weapon power is very strong. If he's spun up, it does a lot of damage. In that last fight though, he wasn't really able to spin up. That was a problem. We just saw T-Tigers and starting all over just trying to run at him there, but he just wasn't getting the damage down. Look at the range on the Glimmer Shots, just outskills the range coming out from I Love Joseph in his basic attack. That's going to be a major issue.
Oh, that's going to be a major issue as well. He does end up getting spun up though. Hammer's taking a lot of water to the face, but they're going to be able to back off as well. Cloud9 do make a very smart rotation down, and T-Tigers, if Cloud9 weren't quick enough, T-Tigers would have easily killed Joseph.
Definitely, like T-Tigers, he's picked up 3 crystal bits, got the energy battery as well. That's what Crystal Caster was so good at, applying the pressure very early on to the jungle, onto the lane. She's been doing that so well right now. She's picked up 2 assists there, and I think no one can really touch her there on the side of Cloud9.
No, absolutely not, and we've seen Kestrels absolutely pop off in the games over the last couple of weeks. I mean, the Crystal Kestrel especially is something that I really like seeing because of the amount of damage and upfront burst it can do. And the one-shots, one-kills are always really fun to see. And like you mentioned earlier, Joseph, you know, he has to kind of stay there, spun up for a little bit in order to get a lot of the damage down. Speaking a lot of damage, and Joseph's being spun up, starting all over, had to back off there. Did take a lot of damage from that Saw. But the thing is, T-Tigers could do just this. Finds him and kills him.
That's the thing about Saw, very slow. T-Tigers, so I Love Joseph is going for Crystal. He's got the heavy prism already. T-Tigers is up. T-Tigers is up. He's probably not going to find a kill in this instance anyway. But I Love Joseph, he's going for the heavy prism. He is going to be going Crystal, but I still feel that T-Tigers, the Glimmer Shots are doing a lot. You can see the pressure they're applying. Right now, if they keep pushing that turret, T-Tigers, even though he's running low on energy, can get a fair amount of damage down.
Yeah, you really can. Those turrets really do fall very quickly when there's a Saw or a Kestrel on either side. I mean, that's going to be the thing here, whose turret can go down first, because I feel if Cloud9's turret does fall fairly early, T-Tigers has such an easy game in that sense, because he's going to be able to hit the Shatterglass power spike, and he's going to be able to just roam inside Cloud9's jungle, and they're going to have to play so scared of him coming towards the mid game.
I think one thing that T-Tigers will probably find very difficult is that once we get into the late game, the team fights will be very difficult. And this is something we see a lot of Crystal Castros, is that they use their four glimmer shots, and then they have to back away using the active camo. And during that time, they're not really assisting.
Oh my god! What was that damage? See ya. Well, he just wiped him off the face of the earth. Gabe Bizzle might be next. My goodness, did not expect that whatsoever. One more shot. There we go. One shot, one kill. Doesn't find old school, but wow. Triple man stun coming from T-Tigers there from the active camo. That was insanity.
That was insanity. And if you look at the level difference as well, T-Tigers level 6 and ILove just hit level 5. That's a nice level advancement he has over Cloud9. They get the first turret so quickly. This is exactly what Hammers want to be doing. It's just constantly applying pressure to the lane. Even though Chicken on that fortress hasn't really reached his spike yet, he doesn't really have to do too much because of T-Tigers.
Oh man. He doesn't have to do too much whatsoever. He does pick up a Sorrow Blade, so he's got that going for him. And with that, T-Tigers. Oh my goodness. I can imagine everybody in chat now just spamming like thinking, balanced thinking. Because that was some truly balanced damage from a level 5 Kestrel.
There was a lot of damage coming from a level 5 Kestrel. He's got enough damage. He's got enough now to pick up the Shatterglass. There it goes. I think he really needs to start focusing on getting those energy items now, because the energy that comes out from that's needed for the glimmer shots and the Axe Cavalry is just a lot that you can't really just keep going in these fights. And if he does manage to land a triple stun with his active camo again, that would be absolutely fantastic, because that team fight was absolutely ridiculous earlier on.
I wouldn't really call it a team fight. I'd just call it T-Tigers finding his mark and just executing Cloud9. Old School taking a lot under the tower. One shot, one kill is available from T-Tigers again if he wants to go for the snipe. However, Gabe Bizzle, as always, prevalent with the heals. And I think that's going to be the most important thing for Old School as well. He needs those heals, because otherwise he's going to get absolutely obliterated by the glimmer shots.
It would be good if he got those heals, if Gabe Bizzle wasn't dying so quickly. And that's nothing to do with Gabe Bizzle. It's just because T-Tigers has such a high amount of damage there. I picked up the Crystal Infusion as well. I'm scared to imagine the damage that will be coming out when he pops that in the next team fight. And starting all over, he's got his Sorrow Blade as well. He doesn't really have to do much right now. He's just sitting very comfortably, just farming, picking up that CS. Just look how far ahead he's drawn compared to Old School. 73 to Old School's 56 as well. T-Tigers quite similar to ILove Joseph, but it just feels like ILove Joseph is not able to do too much. As that Crystal saw, the Suppressing Fire is coming out, but he's rooted in place, and it's just so easy for T-Tigers to land all that damage on him.
It really is. And the 7-minute infusion, by the way. So it's going to be even more damage they're going to land if he does manage to find his mark. He has got Shatterglass on his side, obviously. Does strike ILove Joseph only for about 2/3 of his HP. That was, or 1/3 even. ILove Joseph takes a lot and decides, you know what, I'm going to back off. I don't want to deal with that.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're going to get the gold mine. No contest there coming from Cloud9. Hammer's looking very comfortable at the start. But as we said before, when we get to the late game, when it's all a bit more, when the game's a little bit more team fight orientated, that's when it becomes a bit more difficult for that Kestrel. They need to rely on that burst damage coming out. And that's when they're most effective. If they're going for the sustained fights, Old School, he's got that breaking point. That's not going to end too well for Hammers.
Not going to end well at all. And I mean, that's the kind of point they're going to have to wait for, right? The later stage of the game. Because at the moment, that Kestrel is ripping through you, but when you get some defenses on the side of you, it's not going to be as bad, and you can sustain through it with the help of Gabe Bizzle. And I think it's just waiting until you actually reach that mark, it seems. Does it look like T-Tigers wants to try and find something else? He has been spotted by the flare. Doesn't get spotted by that one, however. Does strike Gabe Bizzle. However, he will be able to run away. One shot, one kill. Going wide as well, but those glimmer shots, they do really start to hurt. Passageway is going to get followed through. That is going to be attacking the Pat popped as well. That silence comes through, and it's going to be huge. Old School really playing up in that fight. He does end up getting taken out, though, as well as ILove Joseph, as starting all over is just going to be able to clean this fight up. Triple kill and an ace. Hammers really bringing it to Cloud9, though. Oh, my goodness. We really have got a game on our hands.
It was a nice attempt from Gabe Vizzle with the aggressive arcane passage, because if you jump onto the Crystal Kessler, she can't use a reactive camo to escape. That's exactly what they did. It worked out very well. They were able to pick up the kill on T-Tigers. Unfortunately, they forgot all about starting all over in the back. And he just swept up there 6-0 and 0. I think that KD ace just speaks for itself. And that was a nice turnaround from Hammers there. They've taken down 2 turrets in 9 minutes. A very, very quick start. And Chicken, he's reached level 6 now. He's been able to use his attack of the pack, and that mortal wound is making things difficult for Cloud9.
Yeah, it's making Gabe Vizzle almost useless in some of these fights, just not being able to heal as much. And with I Love Joseph having to sit there, like you mentioned earlier, he's not been able to get his full damage off, and that's really been the reluctantness of Cloud9 to start these fights. However, Hammer's getting taken really low here, but no, T-Tigers has arrived, and he glimmerizes Vox. Old School is going to find his way back to his base, and I Love Joseph might just find his way back there as well. Active Camo is going to get popped, and meanwhile, obviously, the Lyra did fall. Gabe Vizzle didn't really stand a chance against 2 of them. Starting all over is going to find his way to I Love Joseph. That roadie run really helping him out, but not for long. Ace comes through yet again for Hammers, and what a dominating game this is turning out to be.
It was. This time Crystal Kessler hung way to the back there. T-Tigers just waiting for starting all over to start the fight. Oh, never mind, we're going again.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Cloud9 want to just try and fend off Hammers, but the damage is just coming out left, right, and center from them. They're going to be able to take up this turret. Gabe Vizzle not being able to heal Old School enough, and Old School had to back off, just surrendering the 3rd turret.
It was a nice move there from Chicken to use his attack of the pack while they're trying to apply pressure to the lane, because it forced the members of Cloud9 just to back away a little bit, forced them to get rid of the wolves before they were able to really fight back. By that point, Hammers had taken down the turret, so that's 3 turrets down 10 minutes. And the gold mine. So they're applying so much pressure. This is what they need to be doing, because the later on it gets, the more difficult it will become. So if they keep doing this, there's not really any chance for Cloud9 to come back from this.
Yeah, if they carry on the way they are, I completely agree. Broken Myth coming out from T-Tigers as well, so stacking up even more of that damage. Really going to be just tearing apart Cloud9. Cloud9 looking to set up something here. They are just hiding in the brush near the Crystal Sentry, but realistically, I don't think Hammers actually need to wander that far in to Cloud9's jungle. Just kind of scouting out now here with a couple of flares. Cloud9 just ever bunching up. There we go, they have been spotted. T-Tigers now has a perfect position to kind of snipe them out. And they are just letting them anyway flow into their base, just contesting that tree end as well. Gabe Vizzle, I mean, he does have the passage, but Hammers, just look at them go now.
I'm looking at them going, and that turret's going down very, very quickly. Gabe Vizzle.
See ya.
Oh no.
Gabe Vizzle is going to come through. Attack of the Pack's going to get popped as well. And there almost goes Kestrel. T-Tiger's almost falling, but Chicken is going to be able to make out alive. Starting all over, does unlock the Hellfire Brew. 1 shot, 1 kill, will strike Old School, and the follow-up from starting all over. Double kill comes through, and this could just be the end of the game here. Hammers, 12 minutes even on the clock. 15 seconds on the death time as Hammers. They might just be able to end the game right here and now. Gabe Vizzle just trying to do something, does pop the B ability, but I don't think it's going to be enough. That Bright Bulwark doesn't do all too much, and Hammers, 12-minute game, game number 3 against Cloud9. They take it, they take the series, and oh my goodness, they showed absolute prowess on that Kestrel.
I think dominating is the only word to really describe that performance coming up from T-Tigers. The problem for me was the Saw. I think they really need, especially Crystal Saw, they needed to pick someone that had more of a presence at any point of the game. The Crystal Saw, I feel, didn't have an early game presence, didn't have a mid game presence, didn't have a late game presence. And that just really let the kind of whole composition down. T-Tigers just took advantage of that. It was all about taking the objectives from them. They were doing it so well, sweeping above the ace every single time. And they just completely prevented Cloud9 from reaching their power spikes.
Yeah, they really did. There was no point in that game where Cloud9 just had control, and those power spikes were just not met. And with that, I'm not sure what there is to break down, guys, on the desk, but I mean, you could just say T-Tigers just performed his absolute best, which I think he did, and you can take it away now, and that'll be it from me and Jingyi for the rest of the night. See you guys soon.
You know, there's not much left to break down because honestly, Hammers broke down Cloud9 completely.